Welcome back, everybody, to the next edition of AFL Madden 17 team selection. And we have a full boat tonight as we have the three regular hosts and JD's back with us tonight. What's going on, JD?
Aren't I a regular now?
It feels like it. It's 3 in a row. What is it? Once is a fluke. How does that work? 3 times is a trend, and this is the 3rd time, and 4 if you count PS4.
Once is a fluka.
Fluka.
Just pencil me in.
We also have Stokes on the line. How's it going, Stokes?
Cheer.
That was about as predictable as an LOL from Danny. RVD, how's it going tonight?
What?
Got you, Stokes. RVD, you want to explain that one?
So I told Stokes the other day that that sounded like a velociraptor.
When he goes, cheer. Nice.
So I looked it up, and that was the sound effect for a velociraptor.
It's pretty awesome. But it doesn't sound like what I sound like.
I feel like a velociraptor has just a little bit too much personality for Stokes, though. And I think somebody has their stream open.
Uh-oh.
That's you, isn't it, Stokes?
No. Why would I do something like that?
If this was Facebook, Stokes would go back and edit it right now. All right. I haven't seen anybody say that they can't hear us, so I'm assuming we're good to go. So we also have Magic on the line. How's it going, Magic?
I am exhausted, so we can't have this go too long.
All right. Well, I also cannot have it go too long because I promised the wife I'd be done in an hour. So we are going to be revealing the – what are we on tonight, guys? AFC South? Yes, AFC South. And we also mentioned earlier we have a surprise for everybody. And I think I'm still hearing a little bit of an echo. But I told everybody that right off the bat we'd get into the surprise. So you guys ready to do it?
I'm a little concerned about this surprise.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I feel like, my dad used to tell me about these big surprises he had for me at Christmas and stuff, and then I would end up with like an art set. Maybe do you remember when you told me you saw that calligraphy and you were like, yeah, I wish I could draw like that. Well, this teaches you how to do calligraphy. And like, Dad, I wanted the new Madden.
Well, you were surprised.
You got me an art set.
He didn't
then we were coming home from church one day, and he's like, you boys, me and my brother, we were like 1 year apart. He was like, you boys are going to be so excited. You boys are going to be so excited. I get this huge surprise when we get home. He installed a wood-burning stove in the living room.
Wow.
Like, we thought we were getting something. And then he almost cried when we weren't excited. So that's what I feel like today is going to be like. So I have not let myself get excited at all.
Oh.
For what it's worth, JD has no idea what the surprise is. I'm actually going to reposition things on my desktop because I'm only working with one computer tonight, and I would like to be able to keep tabs on Facebook and maybe even PS4 chat. So bear with me while I do all this. You guys won't be able to see PS4 chat if you're watching, but I will be able to.
Okay.
So, Stokes.
Yes, sir.
This is a pretty good surprise, wouldn't you say? Like on a level of like mediocre surprises to like pretty sweet surprises. This is pretty good, right?
I think this is a pretty nice surprise. Pretty nice.
All right, well, I'm stalling while I try to get up chat. So basically, yesterday, Magic, what do we always try to give the people?
We got to give the people. Oh, don't jump in.
Oh,
Give the people what they want.
I was going to say, you just go ahead and finish it because none of us know what you're talking about. Well, Stokes does. But yesterday,
You must be really tired.
we had a poll asking which division you guys wanted us to reveal. And the vote ended up playing out that the AFC South won the poll. But there was a problem. There was a write-in vote. And the write-in vote actually ended up having more votes than the AFC South. So we put our brains together, and let me tell you, it's some pretty strong brain power over here. And we were thinking, well, should we go off course and go ahead and do a third NFC division, even though we've only done one AFC? Or should we just stick with our plan and do 1-1-1-1 and stick with the AFC South? And then we had the brilliant idea. We're going to do the AFC South tonight, but we had the brilliant idea to give you guys a surprise that would make up for the fact that you didn't get what you wanted. So before we do the AFC South, which is going on tonight, let me get that up on the screen. We are going to do our surprise, which is we're going to reveal the NFC East. So 8 teams tonight are going to be revealed for AFL. We're going to speed up the process. We were very impressed by the fact that you guys wrote in. The votes got so popular. And Stokes, once we saw the amount of popularity that little post that Joker made had, there was just no turning back.
Yeah, it's a lot of teamwork, I suppose, and it was pretty cool that the write-in vote ended up winning, and people were taking their votes off the AFC South, and it was cool to see people band together, basically.
Lucas says this is a calligraphy set.
Nino says it's the worst surprise ever, so I feel like it's a hit with with the normal people in the chai. So
that could be very true.
Let's go ahead and get into the NFC East. For those that don't know, the teams are the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Redskins. If you don't know that, though, you probably should just find a different league. And let's get our first team out of the way in the NFC East, and that is the Giants, and it goes to EDUB. EDUB's had the Giants, I believe, at the beginning of the last two Maddens, and they're a really nice Madden team. They obviously have Odell Beckham, Eli Manning. They drafted a cornerback who I put in one of their best players this year with Eli Apple. They paid big money to get Olivier Vernon over from the Dolphins in free agency. They got Snacks Harrison from the Jets. They had this guy on their roster, a 6'4" safety named Cooper Taylor, who can run. There's a couple fast tight ends on this roster. They have some good defensive linemen. Stokes, I think this is a team that in the last couple years has really become, I don't want to say an elite Madden team, but a very good Madden team.
I can't disagree with that. Other than having to deal with Eli Manning's age, and he's pretty much an average quarterback for the most part, the team is pretty well built. You got Odell Beckham Jr., you've got good players on defense. I think Cooper Taylor is definitely a hidden gem because he's tall and he's got good speed. And if you're going to use him, that makes him pretty devastating. And the addition of Olivier Vernon really helps out the rest of the team. And JPP, he's still decent, or good to decent, and that'll solidify the pass rush as well.
So we have 8 teams to go through tonight, so instead of kicking them around with a lot of detail, we're just going to fly through. I'll give it to one guy to talk about, and then we'll move on to the next one. So the Giants are out of the way. It's EDUB, and we're going to see a theme with this division here. It's going to be similar to that of the NFC South, well, at least when we first revealed it. I think still so, though. It's a pretty deep division, as the next guy we're going to talk about is Pryme and the Washington Redskins. RVD, I like this Redskins team. They picked up Josh Norman this offseason. They have Jordan Reed. They have Deshaun Jackson. They drafted Keith Marshall, who is a blazing fast running back. Kirk Cousins is not an elite Madden quarterback by any means, but he's a guy that can at least get in there and make most of the throws. I like this Redskins team, and obviously Pryme gets his favorite team.
Yeah, it definitely helps out when your favorite team is doing a whole lot better in Madden than in years past, but I really like that offense, especially with Reed and Jackson there to catch the ball. Keith Marshall, have to see exactly how he pans out as far as his attributes go, but I really think that there's a lot that Pryme can do there as far as offense.
So we've got Pryme and EDUB already in this division, so it's looking like it's shaping out to be a very good division. And then I was talking to Stokes earlier when I was making this slide, and there was a team that jumped out to me. And I didn't think they were going to be a very good Madden team. I actually, in my mind, was thinking they were going to be one of the bad landing spots. I started diving into their roster and realized there's a lot of talent on this team. And it's the Philadelphia Eagles, and it goes to JT. Magic, the thing that jumps out first is they have the young quarterback Carson Wentz. You don't have to worry about that position for the duration of the franchise if you feel the need to if you don't feel the need to just shake it up. Fletcher Cox is one of the best defensive linemen in the game. Michael Kendricks continues to be one of the best fast young linebackers in the game. They have some good talent on the roster. Also, a rookie cornerback from last year, Eric Rose, a 6-foot guy that can run. It's not an elite Eagles team, but it's a serviceable team that has enough talent in place that it's not like you're starting from scratch.
Anytime you get a team that just took a quarterback in the first round in the top 5 picks, you have at least a building block. You come in with Carson Wentz. You come in with the guy they got from Buffalo. What's his name?
Nigel Bradham?
Yeah. Nigel.
You got to love Nigel. They brought in a bunch of guys from Buffalo, but Nigel Bradham's the big name as far as Madden goes. Leotis McKelvin and Ron Brooks. I mean, Ron Brooks is garbage. He's good Madden-wise. Leotis McKelvin's going to be a better regular player, and Stokes is getting kicked in chat right now. What's going on, Stokes?
I got a hot take for you. I think that Reese just missed the playoffs.
Yeah? Because of the fact that EDUB and Pryme are in this division?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's another decent guy in this division, and we're going to reveal the Dallas Cowboys owner now, and that's going to go to Hitman, Dan Quinn, a guy that JD's very familiar with. It is his real-life favorite team, even though Nino tried to tell me it was the Miami Dolphins. I love this roster. Des Bryant, Ezekiel Elliott, Byron Jones are just Madden gold. They drafted a quarterback named Dak Prescott, who I think is a guy that you can put behind Tony Romo and build up to be your franchise quarterback for when Romo retires. They got Jalen Smith in the second round, and he should rate out to be like a first rounder depending on what they do with his injury situation. But JD, tell us a little bit about Hitman and what kind of fit you like with him with the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, I tell you what, playing EDUB twice a year and also Pryme twice a year, he's either going to have to change his attitude or, because he can be good, right? But he can also go into a spiral. So he's going to have to. I'll give him the advice he gave me, man. We were on chat one day, and he said I was struggling my first season. I hadn't played in 6 months, and he was like, "Don't worry, JD, you always figure it out. Hey, Hitman, you got to figure it out, dog."
Yeah, there's no running from this division, but he's the guy that put together a really strong season, Madden 3 of Restart. Didn't end up having too much success in the playoffs. It was EDUB, his new division rival, who ended his season in blowout fashion. I haven't seen this from Hitman. Maybe he saves his rants for the privacy of the guys he's closest with. But what Nino has said, and then what JD mentioned, and I think I've heard Lucas say this as well, is he's a guy that instead of running the overpowered things, just gets mad at people that do. That's always going to hold you back in Madden. You have to embrace stuff that's overpowered. Unless you're on the level of a guy like Stokes who can get away with not running fullback dive and still being elite. Although, Stokes, I heard a rumor all you run is strong power.
Yeah, that's the only play in my playbook.
I heard that.
I'm surprised you guys haven't caught on.
It works really well when you have 90 run block wide receivers. I heard.
That's right. That's right.
Stokes is the strong. Go ahead.
I don't see how guys get away with, doing stuff like that and then call everybody else unsim.
Right, Stokes.
Hey, that's what I do. I'm a hypocrite.
I really appreciated MVP's post today. I really did. It touched me deep inside my soul.
I'm so glad you said inside your soul, because touching you deep was just a visual I didn't want to see with you and MVP. So,
are you sure?
Well, no, I'm sure. Weirdo.
You had to think about it.
No, I didn't. You had to think about it. All right, so we have the NFC East, a bonus division, out of the way, and let's recap it real quick. We have Hitman in Dallas, JT in Philadelphia, Pryme in Washington, and EDUB with the Giants. Stokes, just quickly, what are your thoughts on these four owners?
I'm excited for this division. I thought I would be most excited about the South, and I probably still am, feet to the fire, but I'm also excited to see how this NFC East is going to go. And when you look at how the divisions are shaping up, there's going to be a year in a year Super Bowl contender that's going to miss the playoffs pretty much every year. So it's going to be very exciting to watch.
And then RVD, you see this division play out. A guy that we really liked in Restart was JT. It almost appears like he got the short end of the stick being placed in a division with three guys who are always in contention for playoffs and even in Super Bowls. I can't really say that about Hitman, but Pryme and EDUB have been on that level, and Hitman showed to be on that level of Restart Season 3. But he's a guy that seems like he's eager to prove that Restart was a fluke, and he is a good Madden player, and now he has a chance to do it.
Yeah, I don't know JT too well, but everything that I've seen from him, I don't think he's gonna have a problem with this. He's gonna take it on, and that's three tough competitors, but he's gonna go through it, and he's gonna do the best that he can year in and year out.
And I don't think JT is going to be trading out like we've seen other people do.
No, not at all.
Other people?
Other people.
I think he'll quit.
North of the border. All right, guys. Well, one division down, one to go. We have the NFC East done. Let's turn our attention now to the AFC South. Stokes, are you impressed that I haven't screwed up AFC and NFC tonight so far?
Always impressed when you don't make mistakes. Doesn't happen often.
Any mistake, we're impressed.
Backhanded compliment.
Classic Stokes. Classic Stokes.
Passive-aggressive nature of Stokes.
All right, well, we did know one team coming into the I almost did it. The pressure was on. The AFC South, and that was revealed on our initial owner selection show with RVD going to the Houston Texans, and I am hoping that I was smart enough to put his slide first. I did. Look at me. Clutch. RVD's best players, we mentioned J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, DeAndre Hopkins. They have that safety, Lonnie Ballentine, who is a stud. They have speed all over this roster, and we mentioned it earlier. This is a great all-around team. It's a team I'm actually considering in another league right now. Some of you might know that, but I'm on the clock.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. You know what to do. You know what the right thing is.
Fly, eagle, fly. All right, so
that would be the right thing. I would agree with that totally.
It would be the right thing, but it might be a little bit of a coward move. All right, so RVD is going to the Houston Texans. RVD, let's find out who your division rivals are, and we are going to start with the Indianapolis Colts and a guy that is, in my opinion, an instant Super Bowl contender, Danny. He didn't get the top team on his list. I know he's disappointed about that. I do want to say that's not a reflection of what we think about Danny. It's just the way these lists worked out. He's one of those guys that had to go a little bit down his list. But Magic, this Colts roster, they don't have much in the way of defense outside of a couple of defensive backs, one of which, TJ Green, I absolutely love. Danny sent that guy this way. And Vontae Davis, obviously. But there is speed to burn on this offense, Magic.
Or as he calls it, Andrew the Rollout King Luck.
Well, I bet you can roll out in Playmaker with Andrew Luck.
That's all he's going to do.
Magic, what do you think about the Colts roster?
Big fan of their offense. Speed with T.Y. Hilton, Philip Dorsett, who, through no fault of his own, cost me money on an NFL draft bet a couple of years ago. They need some running back help. They need some offensive line help. But when you got, arguably the best young quarterback in the game, you're gonna be okay. And they got rid of Kobe Fleener, so that's always a positive.
Yeah.
Who needs the offensive line when you run to the sideline right when you snap?
It's not like not having an offensive line hurt Andrew Luck last year. And Kobe Fleener now gets to go drop passes for the Saints, so good for him. They have a 40-year-old kicker who never misses. JD, you know Danny probably better than anybody on this show. He had mentioned to me or mentioned in chat that if he got an AFC team, his top team on his list was an NFC team. If he wants to reveal that, he can. If he got an AFC team, he might consider trading to the 49ers, who right now are obviously not an attractive roster, but they're in a very good spot division-wise. With you look at Trump, Costa, and Flips in the 49ers, and who am I missing here? Oh, Vane. If you got, I'm gonna take it around the table. I'll start with JD. Do you expect Danny to stay put in Indy, or would you expect him to see if he can get the 49ers from Flip?
Let me tell you something. If Flip can switch to the Colts, he should do that all day long. I mean, if Danny wants to downgrade to the 49ers because they're his favorite team, I don't blame him at all, right? And he could probably make it work, especially when he has, Cape on his roster. So if Flip can make that happen, all day.
And from Danny's standpoint, I know him as a guy that's in two different leagues. If he gets the 49ers in AFL, he's still in a good position in PS4 to get a different team if he didn't want to have the team twice in, same team in AFL and PS4. Stokes, do you expect Danny to trade out here? Or you think he's going to stay put?
I think now that he's seen a lot of heavy hitters in the NFC, he could look at the NFC West and say he can win that division. Something tells me he's going to stick with the Colts. I don't think the thought of the NFC West is that appetizing enough to want to leave where he's at, to be quite honest.
All right, and then Luca just asked the man himself, Danny, are you trading? And Danny said maybe. So we'll stay tuned. Maybe his decision will be affected by who his other two division rivals are, and we're about to find that out right now, as I believe we're going to Tennessee. Oh no, we're going to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville is the only Jacksonville Jaguar fan I know, Sham. RVD, it was good to see Sham.
He's the only one there is.
He's the only one that there is. If you ever see a Jacksonville Jaguar game on television, it's Sham in the stands and then a bunch of empty seats, and there's a pool, I think. RVD, it's good to see Sham get his team on a year when their roster is actually really attractive Madden-wise.
Yeah, Sham's been taking the Jaguars since they were probably the worst thing ever. Hasn't the past couple of Madden, so some of the newer guys might not remember that, but I mean, we remember him back in Madden 11, 12, 13 or so, taking the Jags every single time. His list would be Jags, 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 Jags. All 5 teams listed as Jags. So this year, now that they're actually nice, it's good to see Sham be the first one to get them.
And Sham's reaction is not gratitude. He wants us to eat a dick. So, typical Sham. We put him on a team that was the most popular. We show how much we love him, and he tells us to eat a dick. So, love you too, Sham. Stokes, the hidden gem on this team, is a guy you are very familiar with, Corey Grant.
That's my dog. I need to get him from Sham. I mean, Sham's difficult to trade with. I mean, when it's me, I guess. But I'm going to do my best to get Corey Grant. I mean, I know I may have Dree Archer, but Corey Grant, he's a special place in my heart.
Well, you got plenty of D linemen Sham can use, or you could send him.
Yeah, that's true. Marcel Darius for Corey Grant, deal.
Do you guys think Sham's controllers last longer because he doesn't push buttons when he's on defense?
He pushes buttons because every time I run a screen, he dives on the ground. I know he's pushing buttons.
All right, and JD, are you a FSU fan?
No.
Is that okay? That you're not. I thought some of you.
UGA?
Oh, you're UGA. Okay, never mind. Well, who wants to talk about how great Jalen Ramsey is? Maybe Stokes. You want to talk about that?
Nope, don't care for him.
Don't care for him. JD, I'm sure you're qualified to talk about how great he is.
So my secondary team is Carolina, so I kind of hate him.
Hate him because he's so good.
Yeah,
He's
he is good.
He's a Madden stud. His man in zone came out in the mid-'80s. His speed is right where you thought it would be. This team is really interesting. Blake Bortles obviously is good enough at quarterback, has enough throw power, has enough speed, has decent accuracy. The weapons are there. Defensively, they made a lot of additions this offseason. It's almost like they have 3 first-round picks when you look at the fact that they got Miles Jack in the second round because of an injury, and they got Dante Fowler coming off of being injured all year last year, and then you couple that with Jalen Ramsey. That team is loaded with young talent, and I'm sure Sham's going to trade it all away for a bunch of old washed-up defensive tackles. So can't wait to see how he dismantles the Jaguars. And right now, let's find out who the 4th team is in the AFC South, the Titans. Stang. That's kind of a creepy picture I have there, Marcus Mariota. Guys, this was a team that was very popular in the team selection process, and honestly, I don't see it. I don't get it. They were popular, so it's probably something I'm missing, but to me, they have a nice young quarterback, a couple of wide receivers that are interesting if you can build them up, obviously a really good defensive lineman, Sham, but I just don't see it. Maybe somebody on this call here can speak up and tell me what there is to like about the Titans.
That's who MVP wants.
In
so,
PS4?
I don't know. Yeah.
Anybody here? Did anybody here like the Titans as more than like a bottom 10 team?
No, I mean Mariota's pretty much the only piece they have. I mean DGB, he's also really good, but Mariota's the best Madden trade piece that they have.
Like Jarrell Casey's one of those guys that's really good, but for Madden purposes, he's limited because he's so slow. I mean, he's just so slow.
Yes.
I mean, they have the man, the myth, the legend, Harry Douglas. I believe Skins was in chat one day telling me about how good the Titans were, and I told him I didn't think they were that good, and he decided to lead off with an argument about how good they were, and the first name out of his mouth was Harry Douglas.
Oh, God, I can tell you all about HD.
And I just stopped listening to the argument and immediately started looking at Skins like, you're a guy I'm never going to talk to. So...
I mean, the guy can run routes, and he's a smart player, but if you touch him, he falls down. Like, sometimes he falls down if you don't touch him. You just look at him, and he falls down. I can't tell you how many times he's been wide open, just running downfield, and then he just falls on the ground.
So what team did Harry Douglas play for before the Titans?
The Falcons.
Oh, I know
that was Stokes' idea of a joke. Usually none of us get it, but one of us is nice enough to laugh.
Oh,
Magic, that was your cue to kind of chuckle a little bit. Stokes, you silly guy, you.
Oh, Stokes.
We got to keep your eye on you. Now, guys, I don't want to be too mean to the guys in the AFC South here, because one of them is on the phone with us, and he's actually a playoff contender. But imagine if Danny traded out to flip. The division would be RVD, and somebody apparently just dropped a bunch of dishes in the background. I hope you're all right back there. The division would be RVD, and then Sham, Stang, and Flip. So RVD would probably like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably so. But I'm
Wait, what team are
I'd
you,
like
Stokes?
some better competition in there.
Stokes
Team
is
is
Buffalo.
Stokes. Okay, cool. So RVD could beat Stokes every year. Be great.
There you go.
Damn it, RVD.
I'm
mean-
good for it one time a millennium. So hey,
Is that all? I heard you had like the keys to the kingdom.
no, I dropped them.
Oh, okay.
If Danny stays, I like this division because Danny's a guy that's going to probably make the playoffs every year. RVD's a guy that contends for the playoffs more often than not. Sham's actually a guy, for all jokes aside, that'll make the playoffs a couple times every Madden, and Sting's usually a guy that makes the playoffs once or twice every Madden. Didn't happen in 16, but I think the track record's there that at least he's going to put some good seasons together where he challenges for a spot. This could be a fun division. But I think Danny's the guy right there that, he's made some deep playoff runs a couple times, and I think he gives that division a little bit of credibility. And if you swap out Danny for Flip, it could be, it could look like the division Flip is currently in. So,
Yeah.
guys, I was kind enough, because I like you guys so much, to give an update on what AFL looks like at this point. All the teams that have been announced, I'm just praying I haven't put a team on there that hasn't been announced yet. And here's what we have. In the AFC East, we have Stokes, Nino, Roman, and Mega. In the AFC North, we have Magic and 3 teams to be named later. In the AFC South, we have Stang, Sham, Danny, and RVD. In the NFC West, we have Costa, Trump, Flip, and Vane.
They sound less excited.
In the NFC South, okay, here we go. The NFC South, we have JD, KJ, Reese, and West. In the NFC North, we have Josh, and it doesn't matter who else because I'm a 2-time Super Bowl champion, if you guys didn't know. 2-time in Minnesota. And then a division that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch, the NFC East that we revealed tonight. We have Pryme, EDUB, HITMAN, and JT, and I have no idea why I'm reading them in that order. Maybe just to keep myself interested. So, guys, the landscape of AFL, does anything jump off the page to you? I'll start with you, Stokes.
I like the way the NFC is constructed at this point. You look at it, and depending on who's in the North, it's going to be big name players like Pryme, EW, JD, KJ, that will likely miss the playoffs. One of you guys at least, because
what do you mean by you guys?
Because you guys are in the NFC. I'm in the AFC.
Oh.
Well, listen, you know that either myself, KJ, EDUB, Pryme, and Reese, will be competing for that final spot because Josh put himself in a bum division.
Obviously.
That's very true. So when you look at it that way, one of these guys that you go into the season thinking they could win the Super Bowl, they're going to miss the playoffs. I think that makes for an interesting situation. And then on the flip side, you look at the NFC West, and it's like, well, Vane or Costa or Trump is going to make the playoffs. And that's not to say anything bad about those guys per se, but when you look
Why are you leaving Flip out?
Because Flip is my guy.
M17 hasn't even started yet.
Why do you hate Flip?
I love Flip. He's our old head. He's awesome.
Well, that's good. I thought I was the old head.
No.
That's great.
No. Nope.
Sorry, Stokes. I messed you up. I'm sorry.
Flip was playing on his Commodore back in the day. Let's see. I think when you look at the NFC, it looks like the AFC has some work to do as far as the big dogs because we have EDUB, Pryme, JD, KJ, myself. Reese will want me to say him, but I can't do it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys that more often than not, and I will say almost always make the playoffs, and that's not even counting HITMAN and Reese, who made the playoffs in Restart when I thought Restart was stacked. And then you also have guys like Trump and Vane who made the playoffs multiple times in AFL 16, and Costa made it once. So I think
you know what's going to happen? You're going to have a rotation because you're going to have guys that win their division and then they have to play the number 1 seeds, and those number 1 seeds are going to beat up on each other. And then you're going to have other number 1 seeds pop in. So I think in the NFC, you're already going to see like a changing of the guard each time. And you're going to have guys that fight for those 5th and 6th spots. And then they switch out and become the division winners because they're not playing the number 1 seeds the next year, which I think is really good.
It makes it more fun, and it certainly is going to make it all these divisions, even the West, it's going to make it imperative to win your division because there's just no telling what the wild card situation is going to look like. And we're kind of laughing at the NFC West right now, but let's not forget that they get to play each other twice each. So it's not to say that two of those teams can't approach 10 wins and push for a wild card. And that's not even accounting for the fact that one of these guys might turn out to be really good at Madden 17. It's a fresh new game. So from the AFC side, we still have 7 teams to go. Who are the big hitters that we haven't mentioned yet? We still have to figure out where Cheese was. Cheese was in Seattle, and he traded out with Vane. So now we're gonna figure out where Cheese is at because Cheese inherits. Oh God, Cheese inherits Joker's list. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Joker's list.
Yes.
Okay, so Joker's list. So you know that the Raiders are probably on that. The Broncos are probably on that. The Packers are probably on that. I bet you that he's going to the Packers or the Raiders or Denver, and I bet that y'all don't want to put him in the NFC, so I can almost guarantee you he's going to end up in the AFC West.
Interesting.
Yeah, you think you're so smart? Well, you're the one. And then we have SJR, Bailey. Who else are we missing out here? Luka. Luka's a guy that will contend for playoff spots. And then you have guys like Lad Russo, Swag, Cheese Jr. We still have to figure out wherever the hell Pick 6 wound up because he traded out twice.
Whose list does he have?
He went from Nino's list to Westside Charles' list.
Dude, so I bet you that he's the Raiders or you put him in your division as the Packers. You bastard. And I bet because T-Mac's good enough that it makes it look good, but you can beat him.
Yeah.
And you're just enough of a jerk to do that.
I am.
Interesting.
What? It's true. Just kidding. No, who was the other guy?
Lad, who is going to the NFC North. I mean, you can just lock it in. He's going to be my division rival.
No, because he's a low. No, I bet he's going to the AFC North. I bet he's going to the Bengals or the Browns.
I'm going to need JD to just log off at this point because I don't appreciate the mind games he's playing right now. And I don't think you're very accurate with your picks. So there.
I don't believe you. Who was the other guy? So it was Lad, and you said somebody else hadn't gone. Oh, Luka. Where's Luka going? See, I could see Luka going to the Lions or the Packers, but I could also see him going to the Ravens or the Bengals because there's nobody really a division winner I see in there yet.
What do you think about?
What about Magic? Why wouldn't Magic?
Magic's right now. If you look at the division as it's standing, I think Magic's at least tied for third.
Dude, Magic has got the Steelers. Magic has got the Steelers and the perennial first pick of the draft. Do you realize how good the Steelers are going to be in like 6 years?
Oh, man.
If this division was 3 computer teams in Magic, I guarantee you he'd still lose because he'd be laying on his bed and fall asleep and forget to play his computer game.
Oh, man.
He's probably asleep right now. That's why he's not responding.
Magic, you there?
Well, then.
Don't sleep on Magic.
Nino says I'm a genius.
I do hope. Let's find
142, buddy. 142.
Oh yeah, Magic's not here, so we can just talk about him. So seriously though, who would you take, Magic or 3 computer teams?
What do you mean take for what?
Like who would win the division if Magic was in a division with 3 computer teams?
Are we on all Madden?
Well, that's a good point. All Madden.
If we're on all Madden, then it's definitely the CPUs because all Madden cheats. It's so bad.
I did check Skype, and Magic isn't on the call anymore. I don't know what happened, but he did say he was tired, so he may have just checked out for the night.
You didn't call him enough.
I think it's interesting having JD on because he's the only one on the phone that doesn't know where these guys are going. Stokes, who do you think are the most interesting names left? I think Cheesin, Bailey, SJR stand out to me. Luka, Joker. Joker's obviously a guy that we have to figure out where he's going. Those would be the five most. Oh, Cody. Cody's another player. So there's still some heavy hitters out there.
I would say Cheeseman, Bailey, Joker. Those are the best players I would say that are left who haven't been chosen yet.
I really
like
give
Cody.
Cheese Denver.
Cool. What?
Stokes, did y'all really give Cheese in Denver?
Well, that's a loaded question right there because we gave Cheese in Seattle, and then he sold his spot, and we had to give him whatever spot he bought. So don't point the finger at us.
I just nailed it.
No, I will say that through your predictions tonight, you've been close on a couple, and you did nail a couple.
Yeah. I mean, it's becoming pretty clear at this point.
Well, there's certain guys out there that, we've revealed 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then, 2 more, so 27. Oh,
I mean,
that's
you're
right.
not.
What?
Like,
More
everybody
pigs.
knows you're not going to give
So good.
Lad. Everybody knows you're not going to give Lad Green Bay.
20.
Or-
22. 22 teams have been revealed. There's my math coming back into it. So some guys probably already have 4 teams off their list that are crossed off, and they know they got a team on their list, so...
Right on.
Well, I mean, another factor is the fact that when JD said, "Well, Luka could be here or here or here or here or here or here," like, well, maybe you were
He's
right
right.
about one of those.
Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, so Luka's not been in the league that long, so he's probably not a top-rated owner. But he's also not the lowest-rated owner because he did pretty good and he got all his games in. So you're not going to give, you're not going to give Lad Green Bay. You're not going to give Lad Kansas City or Denver Raiders. So what's left? You're probably not going to give them the Browns. So I'm looking at the teams that are left and the rankings of the people that are left, and it just kind of makes sense in my head where people are going. You're not going to put Cheese and Josh in the NFC if the NFC's already stacked. And the AFC North is not really that good, so why would Joker
there's
have
15 Super Bowls in the AFC, man? 15.
Why would Joker have the Bengals on his list? He
There's-
probably wouldn't.
There's
Joker has
15
zero
Super
rank.
Bowls in the AFC. There's your 7. Where are the other 8, Stokes?
I mean, it just makes sense.
I forget where the other Super Bowls are. But there's a lot in the AFC.
Joker Lions, no Tunney, no.
Who's Tunney?
2-ton probably.
Oh, that makes sense.
He's kind of cute for this nasty fat guy.
Have you ever seen his picture?
No, because he's a troll.
Okay. So, JD, what happened when Nino booted 2-ton? Can we get that story? Because that sounded very interesting.
Oh, it's not? It's not 2-ton? Tunney is not 2-ton? I don't know, man. You should rename yourself so you don't get confused with that loser. I don't know. I may have been like in the hospital or something. Did Nino boot him for what?
They were playing a game, apparently. 2-ton broke out some kind of a loop, nano or something.
The loop. Oh, no. So the loop is the thing that 2-ton gets to do to me twice a year, and I complain and scream about it. But then as soon as he does it to Nino, he gets booted. That makes me even more mad.
Yet Stokes is the shady commissioner.
So let me tell you what he would do. So he would run 34, and he thought he would brag about how he was this defensive genius. He would say that he would literally come in chat and be like, I'm a defensive genius. No, you watch YouTube videos, okay? You're not a genius. You can type, okay? So he would shift all his linebackers to the left. And he would have it would be those Mike Fire type blitzes, and then he would shift his line over there as well. But he had it to where a strong side linebacker would loop through the B gap, and so if you ran to the right, away from all the coverage, because literally there'd be 6 players or maybe even 7 players to the left of your center, and so you're like the right side of the screen is wide open. So you would run that way, and then the strong side linebacker would come right through the B gap and nail you for a hit stick. So how I finally figured out how to beat him was I had to run these deep kind of post routes on the right side of the screen, and if he didn't use them properly, then I would get big gains. But other than that, you had 7 people over on that side, and then he would still blow up anything on the right side.
So
because it was a nano.
So 2-ton is about 400 pounds of just cheese?
Dude, yes.
Okay. RBD, how you doing over there?
I'm wonderful.
What are your thoughts so far in the layout of AFL? Obviously, you know how the puzzle comes together, but just what we're seeing now.
Looking at it now, the NFC just definitely blows AFC out of the waters right now as far as competition goes. You know, of course you've got two divisions left. You've got just over half the teams still remaining in the AFC to be revealed, but when you look at it right now, the NFC just blows AFC out.
I would agree with that, but we still have some heavy hitters left. The guys in chat are convinced that Joker's going Lions. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but it seems to be the popular opinion and nobody's questioning it. It's interesting to hear JD's opinions because he doesn't know how this all comes together and see how he's shaping it together. Stokes, any thoughts on your mind before we wrap this show up?
No, not many thoughts. It's interesting to see. I mean, on paper, the NFC does look a bit better than the AFC, but I mean,
there's more divisions left on the AFC too.
There's still some stuff. Anyway, I'm very excited for this year. I want to see how these divisions are going to play out, and I would say for sure that there is more intrigue in the NFC. But if you ask me who's going to win more Super Bowls, the AFC or the NFC, I guess.
I don't think anybody asked you that, though. I mean, if you want to ask yourself questions, you can.
Hey, Stokes, who do you think is going to win more Super Bowls, the AFC or the NFC?
Third person, too.
I'm going to say the AFC.
You really think Nino's going to be that good this year?
So, do you think Stokes? Okay, year one. You got the Bills. Nino has the Dolphins. Are you going to sweep him year one?
Last time I checked, I beat Nino 3 times in a row last time we played in the division.
So you're saying you're going to sweep him year one with the Dolphins? Keeping in mind he has the Dolphins and you have the Bills.
Well, if you ask me if I'm going to beat Nino, I'm going to say every time I play him, I'm going to beat him. That's just how I go into it, and I expect him to feel the same way. But I expect to win every game I play against Nino. Am I going to? Probably not, but I'm going to go into it thinking that.
Nino might struggle year one because the ebooks aren't published yet.
Right, because you know he would spend money on an ebook, right?
I mean, if anybody's going to put down money for something, it's going to be Nino.
He would get Danny to rip one off Reddit.
Damn.
I might say Roman wins that division year one.
That would be the best. Did you see the bet Nino and I made, John?
Whoever loses the Roman first, or just whoever loses the division game first?
The first person to lose to Roman owes the other $10.
Hey, if Roman needs some advice on how to make those Patriots Super Bowl champs, he can just call me.
And how to beat Stokes with the Patriots.
And how to run cover 3 when you're winning in the last 20 seconds of a game.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, that's one season though. You know what's funny though is we all blame JD for that, but it was Stokes' boy.
Oh, you're talking about the blitz.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about running cover 3 versus him in the Super Bowl. I was like, I'm not sure what he's talking about.
It was Stokes' boy, KJ, who went to the Super Bowl and let that Super Bowl loss happen.
Yeah, that's true. See, Nino said in his little power rankings that, Shadow, or somebody said Shadow like owned me in the Super Bowl or something. I'm like, we didn't play in the Super Bowl, and it was like 10-7. The whole game was a defensive battle.
I think it's definitely forgotten that KJ lost the Super Bowl to Shadow, because the most memorable thing about that playoff is the cover 3, and Shadow wouldn't have been in the Super Bowl if JD did anything but call cover 3.
He might still be in the AFL. If I hadn't done that.
I know. You ruined our favorite announcer of a game.
Secret. But no. He's not the favorite announcer anymore. I am.
Hey, Stokes, Tunney wants to know how many Super Bowls you've lost. I think we owe him an answer.
How many have I lost, or how many have I given away? That's the.
Oh God.
Not the Nino.
How many did you have the fewest points at the end of?
Well. See, what you guys didn't realize, we were playing golf Super Bowl in those ones in which I scored fewer. So
God.
There were 4 times in which I won Super Bowl golf.
Dude, all I'm hearing are excuses.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. He lost 1 to Ridge. He didn't lose any in 13.
I spread my losses out. I haven't lost to the same person twice.
He didn't lose. Actually, after that Ridge game, you didn't lose one until you played Nino, correct?
Yeah, I won 7 straight. Now I've lost 3 straight.
And then you played Season 3 of Restart, and you lost to MVP, I think.
No, he lost to me before he lost to MVP.
Oh, yeah, and you lost to JD.
No, these guys just keep on effing with me.
What is that sound?
I don't know. Might have been my headphones, but I decided to turn it off. All right, well, Stokes has lost 4 Super Bowls.
Are there any other questions for me, guys? Since you guys want to be dicks?
When am I getting a green screen? Well, Danny, that's probably not going to happen. I don't think the wife would approve that purchase, but, you know, if enough people say they want a little more sizzle with our shows, we can throw something together. But I don't know. We're not ever going to get on that level. Promise you that.
Oh, man.
RBD, did you see that video Danny posted?
I have not had the chance to watch it yet.
You should check it out.
Can we take like 5 minutes and make fun of their rules? Or maybe some of the rules we want to implement.
Sure. Do you have the rules pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's catch anybody up that doesn't know. So Danny posted a video to an online chise, and it makes what we do with our podcast look completely like nothing, because this guy has a green screen. He stands in front of it, does like a sports update, does press conferences where he asks himself questions, shows highlight reels, and then I was looking at it, and I even told Nino before I heard the rules, I was like, I guarantee you wouldn't last one play in this league because their rules are so tight that if you even user somebody, you're going to get kicked out. And then somebody found the rules, and now JD has them.
I think we should rank everyone as commish to prospect and hold them to these rules of trading. Prospect, only allowed to trade draft picks. What do you think about that?
Which is terrible, because what you don't want to have happen is some new guy come in and trade away the future, and then you can't get rid of that team.
I think we should just make that rule and then just make Roman the prospect.
Roman's a prospect. Ladd is a prospect. Stokes is a prospect.
No, man, we like Ladd. We like Ladd. We can make him a rookie. We can allow him one trade.
Make it count. Don't spend it all in one place. Oh, wait, you have to. Anything else on the rules jump out to you?
Yeah, no user picks. So, Stokes, you're screwed.
Yeah,
Danny.
If it says user pick on the screen, you've done something wrong.
Sham, you should join this league.
Sham could probably win the Super Bowl.
You can't roam with the linebacker. If you're in hook zone, you got to stick in the hook zone for the duration of the play.
I want to know what this is, though. Did you see this abusing the L2X button super hit stick? Who knew you could do that? L2 plus X is a super hit stick. Did anybody know that?
No, it sounds like something people just make up because it happened to him one time.
I don't know, man. I'm going to try it tomorrow.
Kind of like, the audible into a different kickoff return gives you a better
It sounds
return.
like something MVP would figure out. Like I seriously think there's like L2 plus triangle plus circle equals, you can't get tackled.
We need to send MVP, Two-Ton, and Han to this league and just shock their system. Just be super nice guys, join up, just be super great, and then all of a sudden they start playing games, and these guys just go into a coma.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I joined a franchise on Madden School, and I snaked the commish for a tight end he wanted in the draft because he told me who he was going to get, and I picked before him, so I took the guy he wanted. So he booted me, and I went back in as a fake guy and went 19-0.
No.
And then I told him after I won the Super Bowl, and it was like a running thing with me and Nino. So I went back in this franchise and went 19-0, and then they figured out it was me and booted me again.
That's hilarious.
It was really funny for 8 weeks.
Got him.
Anyways, you had to be there. I
think he was just letting us know he won another Super Bowl we didn't know about, Stokes.
Yeah.
This doesn't count, man. This doesn't count.
Do you have any PS4 Super Bowls, JD?
I do not.
Oh, wow. How long
only
have you been?
AFL, because you could pick on me for that, but that's kind of going to blow back on you because I won the AFL Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who let you win that?
You did, Stokes.
Wait.
You absolutely choked.
Oh.
Who let me win? You let me win, Stokes. It was you. How do you feel about that?
Well,
so you said you've lost 3 Super Bowls? I would say that's elite
4.
company. 4?
What
me
can
and
I
Nino?
say? What can I say?
Me and Nino and Ridge? Is it me, Nino, and Ridge, and that's it?
Oh, no, MVP.
MVP. MVP. I mean, in my opinion, if I made a power rank, MVP would be at the top. So MVP, Nino, and Ridge, and myself. Come on, who wouldn't want to be in that company?
MVP would be very vertical on your list.
He would be very vertical on my list. Ridge would probably run right to the top of my list.
Heyo. And Nino would be right in the correct zone.
Yeah, whatever. Cover 4.
And
sorry, Stokes. That one kind of turned around on you, didn't it, buddy?
I suppose. But I mean, I lost that game. Terrence Williams was watching from the sideline. He was telling the coach, "Coach, put me in. Coach, put me in."
Hey, did I tell you to set him, or did you set him on your own decision?
Coach, put me in.
Hey, see,
go sit down over there, Terrence.
Sitting Terrence Stokes is the same type of decision as throwing to my user. It was a stupid decision.
Don't test his user.
Jamie Collins, living infamy.
What did Reese say? I'm not paying attention to Facebook. Somebody says that Reese said something interesting on Facebook. It was Danny that said that, so it's probably true. We'll find out.
Reese says interesting things all the time.
He said the NFC East is not stacked. The NFC South is.
Was it a meme?
No, it was.
NFC East is not stacked. NFC South is, though. Interesting. I would respectfully disagree. I think they're both nicely stacked.
There's only one bowl winner in the NFC East, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
There's 2 in the South.
And there's 2 in the South, and probably the third guy, if you're going to do power rankings in the South, is KJ. So, behind Stokes and Nino, KJ's probably everybody's third guy in AFL.
Like Nino said, he says KJ, EDUB, and Nino. And me and KJ have played some battles in the playoffs. I mean, they were like 14-11 and like 17-14 type games. And then, we know about my history with EDUB, so we don't need to rehash that again.
I don't know if Nino's greater than and less thans add up to what I saw restart. I feel like some of those guys, I feel like Pryme played JD twice and Pryme won both.
Yeah, we played 14-12. I kicked 4 field goals that game.
And then I feel like Reese beat Hitman, maybe? I don't remember, though. I really don't.
I mean, there's also a difference between the playoffs and the regular season.
True.
I mean, just because some guy beats you in the regular season, I mean, the real guys that are good step up in the playoffs.
Did Pryme beat you in the playoffs?
Did he? I don't know. I know he beat me week 1 of that last season. He may have beat me in the playoffs.
I think he did. I think he got you year 1. It was a close game, though. I'm not saying either one of you are better. You obviously have the ring, and he doesn't. And I think you guys are both very good. I think that it's just a lot of nitpicking. I think of all the guys we're talking about, KJ's the guy that probably stands out above the rest, and then you and EDUB both have Super Bowl wins and make the playoffs all the time. So the fact that you and KJ are in the same division, and then EDUB's in one, I would say, I'd say the South is probably a little better, but both those divisions are plenty stacked. So we'll see. It really will come down to if West or JT can step their game up and become a playoff contender, because if that 4th person in the division can make a run at something, then you never know. And Reese needs to find some more consistency in his game, because I don't know if anybody looks at the NFC South right now and is like, wow, Reese is there.
No.
I'm trying to be
not the people in the NFC South.
I mean, Reese is tough, but the first it'd be KJ, JD, and it's like, man, Reese has a long road ahead of him. But he's up to it. He's not going to run. I know that. He's not going to tuck his tail and leave.
The only thing he'll run is his mouth.
Is he urinating? Are you peeing?
I am.
What the F?
We have too many Southerners on this talk right now. RVD, I feel like we haven't talked to you in like 10 minutes. How's it going?
Good. I'm just sitting here listening. I've been actually looking over the list a little bit, so I've got some fun facts whenever.
Go ahead.
When we're done.
Or when we're done with revealing all the teams, or can you give some now?
Oh, now I just didn't know when y'all were going to be done talking.
I mean, JD's peeing right now, so it's not like you're interrupting anything.
Is it the perfect time now?
Go for it.
All right, so in tonight's teams, AFC South and the NFC East, 3 out of the 4 including myself, 3 out of the 4 in both divisions got their number 1 team.
Nice.
And then the other 2 got their number 3 team. So in the NFC East, 3 got their number 1 team, 1 got their 3rd team. AFC South, 3 got their number 1 team, and 1 got their 3rd team. So I thought that was interesting.
So if anybody complains, they're booted.
There you go.
You're saying.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I was also surprised that anyone that gets mad about EDUB getting the Giants again has no one to blame but themselves, because he was the only person to put the Giants down as number 1.
Yeah.
That surprised me. Sure.
Only person. And I thought that they would definitely be more, they would be at the top of more lists. They were on a lot of lists, but not number 1. And that surprised me.
Not even,
You know the problem with
Vane?
the Giants is everybody associates the team with the quarterback, and nobody wants that whiny. It's just something about Eli that you just don't want to pick him.
Did Vane not have the Giants as 1 either?
Not the one that I have down now. If it was changed late, I think once we kind of started moving around, I didn't update the list. But the one I have on here,
I don't have anything in front of me. The 4 guys that jump out obviously would be Vane, Cheese, EDUB, and Costa. And I know Costa and Cheese didn't have them 1.
Yeah.
So that was surprising.
The list that I have on here for Vane does not have them on the list at all. But it may be an old list if it was updated pretty late.
You know what it is? After Vane traded with Joker, he changed his list to Browns.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We didn't change that update.
See, that's what happened.
Well, it wouldn't matter because, Joker could throw for 400 yards with the Browns, and he wouldn't have a defense either way. So
You do get Josh Gordon. That's cool.
Well, RG3's accuracy is so bad, all of his passes go to the sideline. So Josh Gordon standing on the sideline in street clothes because he's suspended would actually work out pretty well.
Go right to him.
So get excited, Joker. Plus, you can go all brown unis, which everybody likes.
If Joker gets a defense, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask Costa, you can't even use her.
Did you guys hear that one? Costa said Joker has a terrible user. Let me run that by you again.
Listen,
Costa
Nino said that you're the people that have the best users. You can just look at their defensive stats, right? And that's your best user. So I don't know. It kind of makes sense, right?
You mean as far as like yardage giving up, points given up, or as far as like one player dominating stat wise?
Whatever no, not one player. No, I'm saying your overall stats, because normally a good user is going to shut down your runs. They're going to shut down your favorite plays. They're going to be able to user pick you or take away your first read, and that's going to limit you in points. So, he's got a point.
I feel like Joker may have bought a lemon from Vane. If Vane told him a fake list.
Wouldn't that be like dirty?
Is that the risk of buying lists?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Really.
It would be dirty. Dirty Vane.
He got paid for it, so you get what you get paid for.
I mean, for $200, you could. Is that public knowledge? Yeah, for $200, you could give me a list of 5 CFL teams. I'd be fine.
Why does Sham think we need to see where Pick lands? Like, why is that relevant?
I think he's saying that because Pick is now traded out of 2 different spots. He wasn't happy with either one because of competition. And it's, maybe, is he going to get a soft landing spot, or is he going to find himself in another division where it's difficult?
Dude, there's going to be a good player in every division, man. It's like when you quit a job because, Bob is over there, and then you go to a new company and you look over at the corner and you look over across the cube and there's Bob.
Damn,
it's the
Bob.
same freaking guy, man. You just got to learn how to get along with him.
T-Mag is already asking Danny what he wants for the Colts.
Telling you, man. Quit running. Just get better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, T-Mag.
RVD's in chat. What's up, RVD?
Not much. Oh my gosh, I've missed.
Is it nostalgia?
Yes, I've missed this so much.
I can't really hang out in this chat that much because when I'm not doing shows, I'm only on my phone, and my phone does not work with this chat very well. So I'll be in here usually when I'm doing shows, but other than that, I won't be able to hang out much. But it sure is nice to do these faces. Well, guys, I think we are at a point now where, unless
Your wife is giving you the look?
she's not giving me the look, but it's gotten awfully quiet up there, and I'm thinking she's looking at the clock like, I just got this guy a Sunday ticket for free, and he told me he was going to come hang out with me, and he's still down there talking about his video game.
If she falls asleep before you get up there, you're a dead man.
Yeah, it depends, though. She likes her sleep.
She likes that check, too.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Whoa.
But
Finish it, Stokes.
Whoa.
yeah,
Into
so
it.
Stokes, what's up with what's up with you being offended at me, but yet your favorite rapper is probably the most homophobic, offensive rapper in history.
It doesn't make a lot of sense logically, does it?
So what you're saying is I should say all my stuff to a beat. That'd be cool.
No.
So if I play some music in the background or maybe like bang on some drums and say what I need to say, then I'm good, right?
No, that's not quite what I'm saying. All I'm saying is the words.
Eminem.
Those are just. I don't know how to explain why I like Eminem and why I dislike some of the words.
But like DMX is second on that list.
It's not about the words.
Like,
it's about the message and all the other.
So, but when you said to me, it was like however you justify it. So, like, if I justify it with some cool music, then it's cool, right?
No,
I mean, because I can like, I can break out the old beatbox or something.
the thing about him, he makes me laugh when I listen to the music. I like to be amused. And that's what happens when I listen to his music.
But I thought I was amusing. Everyone thought I was amusing, but you.
No, what? I told you I enjoyed when you were.
Stokes, I'm just playing with you, man. I love you, Stokes.
Stokes,
if where do you live, Stokes? Because if I lived there, I'd come hang out with you.
I live in Northwest Indiana, Chesterton.
Is that near Indianapolis? Because I've been.
It's about 2.5 hours.
Man, next time I come to Indianapolis, I am getting a cab, and I'm coming.
You can hang out.
We'll do it.
wait, what? You're coming and you're going to do it? What? I'm back.
That's right, Josh.
That was a sex joke, guys. Boom! Nailed it. All right. Stokes, anybody offend you tonight?
No. I mean, I've had a lot of fun with this.
Are you offended by any of the divisions?
See, I want to. No, I don't want to say anything. Never mind.
Go for it.
No,
Don't be so PC.
Don't be so passive aggressive.
Oh,
I just think it's going to be unfortunate if we get to a point where the NFC West leader is like 9-7, and then you see KJ or JD or EDUB miss the playoffs at like 11-5. It's gonna be frustrating.
Okay, I know something we can talk about before we get out of here. We need to recap the trades that happened. Vane bought Cheese's Seahawks. We already knew he had the Seahawks, so now Cheese lands where Vane was, which was inheriting Joker's list. The other trade that happened was T-Mag, who had the Panthers, traded out, and he inherits West's list, so T-Mag is now going to land wherever West was. So T-Mag and Vane have both traded twice. So I'm going to ask everybody on here, what do you guys think about trades? I think it's fun, it's interesting, but it also, Stokes, the whole reason we did lists was to create balance, and the trades throw that off a little bit.
It certainly does throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into the what we were trying to do, but I do think it adds intrigue. I think with the randomizer, it was a tad bit more fun, but this has been awesome in and of itself, because I wouldn't have thought that this amount of money would have been changed hands when we were doing lists. And this is another thing. Had we released them all at the same time, I don't think this would have happened either, because Pick would just target one person to know exactly what team he's going to. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you believe your point because you're like banging the table as you say it. Like, oh man, I'm feeling this one.
All over this.
Jeez.
All over this.
Take it easy, Francis.
Hey man, I'm passionate about this money changing, man. Passionate.
I agree with you, though, if they were all revealed at once, because every time a team comes off the board that was on your list, there's that little bit of fear of loss. Like, oh, man, I'm not going to get a team. I'm going to be left out. So, and then Vane trades up and Pick trades up. Nobody else is really trading, guys. I mean, West traded, but...
I mean, I knew I was getting the Falcons, so why trade? But I'll tell you what, I'm having surgery Thursday, and I'm going to be on drugs when my next pick rolls around for PS4, so who knows who I'll pick.
Well, you traded out with me, and now I'm on the clock, and it's debate city. Stokes, who should I take?
This is not a debate at all. It should be Pittsburgh.
It should be Pittsburgh. I mean, why is this? So you take Pittsburgh, and then I sell my 13th pick for $80. That's what I see happening.
Mm-hmm. What's the argument against Pittsburgh?
There is no argument against Pittsburgh.
That Roethlisberger's old, so you're going to have to draft somebody and develop them.
So
Bumblebee uniforms.
Are we thinking the AFC is gonna, are we thinking the AFC is going to end up more stacked than the NFC?
Well, it depends on if Nino gets the Browns or the Saints.
Oh, nobody's scared of Nino.
I'm not scared of Nino. The rest of y'all are.
Anybody afraid of Nino?
Stokes, stop it.
What? Hey,
Thou protesteth too much.
I can speak for myself, but no one should be afraid. Nino he's not gonna blow you out. I mean, he's gonna slow you down defensively.
I'll tell you something about Nino. Like, he has a great user, right, and he has good defense. But I really felt like his offense took a step back in Madden 16.
Yeah, the ebooks came out slow.
Yeah, but no, for real. Did y'all notice how hard? I mean, I struggled on offense as well. I mean, my whole, my whole game was to play defense and hang around in the game and then do something at the end. But I felt like Nino really struggled on offense, and I felt like the guys that kind of played more video game-ish, shall we say, the MVPs of the world and the Dannys and the Jokers, they really did well, and it was just like you kind of had to forget your principles and just kind of play a video game and play maker and roll out and do all that kind of stuff.
Do we have
a really good offense?
Do we have any idea what division Silver is going to be targeting? Because I would love to play him twice a year.
You would, because after you beat him 3 or 4 times, he quits.
Oh, you may have just motivated me because the guy picking right behind him is offering a trade up. But would I be risking not having a team open in his division?
Nino's mad at me now, but that's okay. He'll get on me with chat and drafts, and we'll make friends.
Silver's a big fan of me. He thinks.
All right. I feel like this show's gone on about 35 minutes longer than it should have.
I feel like you've gone on about 35 minutes longer than you should have.
Heyo!
Nailed it. All right, let's get out of here. Tonight, we revealed the NFC East. It's Hitman, EDUB, JT, and Pryme. We revealed the AFC South, RVD, Danny, Sham, and Stang. The surprise was the extra reveal, which was the NFC East. We are going to put up a poll now, and at this point in time, Stokes, RVD, should we even make it AFC, NFC, or just put all 3 divisions up and see what happens?
All 3. I highly anticipate that they're going to spam the South, or the North-South. Just because...
Yeah.
If you put the North up right now, they're probably going to get top pick just so everyone will know what conference they're in at least.
It's true. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We're back on the air 2 nights from tonight on Tuesday, and we'll be revealing some division to be named later. It will only be 1 division. We were very impressed with your guys' initiative and your write-in votes. JD, thanks again for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Stokes, thanks again for joining us.
It's been great.
RVD, sorry you had to put up with these guys.
That's okay. I had fun.
Magic, thanks for joining us.
I love you, Stokes.
Love you too, buddy.
We'll talk to you next time on AFL Team Selection.
Oh.